FTP. Welcome back, BG Nation. It is week 7, epi 7, and we are back in the stew. All right, we join.
Yeah, we're back in the stew. A lot of banter today.
Quite a lot of banter, bro.
Get it started. Let's go.
Finals week. We could definitely talk about that, bro.
I guess I'm coming off. I guess that kind of goes into apology right away. Sorry for not being as locked into the pod as I should be. However, I have not been locked into school at all, actually. I kind of got a 49 on my final today. I'm set to graduate, but probably not because I failed all my classes. I got one more final coming up on Monday. I'm stressed. I have not planned anything for the pod. I'm quite shocked. I mean, it's kind of what happens when you just spend your days watching college football and NFL and
honestly,
other stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of feel you on that, bro. Definitely finals week is, I think, a struggle for every student in the nation, right?
Nah, honestly, your school's Mickey. Your school's Mickey.
We don't gotta get into that, bro. But I definitely think you're definitely struggling, and I wish you the best. I think you're chilling though.
No, I don't agree with you. I don't think
this is a little de-stress epi. This is a de-stress epi for you, and me too. Honestly,
I'm stressed.
Maybe you're producer Jay, yeah.
I think we're all stressed.
Slightly, I agree, bro.
I'm angry.
Nah.
I'm angry.
Sure.
Let's get it going.
Why are you angry?
I'm angry.
All right.
I'm just mad. Let's get it going.
Nah, for sure. We want to, of course, acknowledge y'all. Keep liking, sharing, subscribing. We really appreciate it, and we want to always get the pod out to more people. And yeah,
for sure. Yeah, no. We're back in the stew. Let us know how y'all like the new backdrop. I forgot that was back there. Producer Jay personally said it looks like people's skin ripped off their back and put behind us. So he wanted me to ask y'all, do y'all think it personally looks like people's skin ripped off their body and put behind us?
Bro, that's a crazy start to this epi, honestly. I didn't think you're gonna take a turn like this, bro. I think that this is just like a regular little bamboo type of setting. Let us know in the comments below if you really mess with it. I personally like it. It's a little different, and I think that's good for the podcast. And I don't think it looks like people's skin, but yeah, we could definitely get into another apology. I want to apologize for last week's gambling section. I unfortunately missed again. And look, you miss some, you win some. 2 weeks in a row, it's not looking good. 3 weeks in a row, that's my fault. That's true. We went 3 for 5 last week's picks. Like I said, win some, you lose some. Definitely want to apologize to producer E, Big E. Unfortunately, he also put some money on it and lost. I want to apologize for that as well.
No, but you're locked in this week.
I'm definitely locked in. We can definitely get into that later. We got
apologize for me. 2 for me. 1.
I was about to say.
1, again, I failed. Apologies to my mom. I definitely told her I passed that today on the way here. No, got the exam back. Like I said, I got a 49. I got an even harder one coming up. So that's apologies to my mom. She does watch every single one of the episodes. So shout out, Mom. Shout out, Mom. Sorry for failing. And then Roy just added this one: an apology for farting in Roy's face. I did not. Let's get this out of the way. I did not fart in Roy's face. I burped. You said it was putrid.
You were sitting right there, right, with your kickstart on the side, and you're drinking, sipping, and then, bro, you want to let out an insane burp right in my face. Smelled all of your fumes, bro.
What did it smell like?
It smelled like kickstart mixed with just like, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell. Horrible though, horrible. Not like a bad smelly, bro. I'm just saying, just a putrid, just horrible. And it's just like right into my nose, just the fumes, dude. And it's just, oh man.
To be fair, no, my body has not been great recently. Past like 5 days, just nothing but like ramen, Burger King, burgers, slop, Pluckers.
Pluckers.
So you got
Baker's
all that.
Gold?
Baker's Gold, yeah, you got all of that. Baker's Gold.
For real?
Baker's Gold. Shout out BG Nation.
That was iconic that one time.
There we go.
But yeah, I definitely wanted you to apologize for technically farting in my face because a burp is technically a fart if you think about it.
Personally, I don't think so. I think a burp is a burp. As fart is a fart. Fart is like coming out of your butt with like shit.
No. Okay, like I get that, but like if you think about it, it's one hole. If you think about it, from your mouth to your anus, obviously. And
look, I would argue to say once it's come out of your butt, that's your food processed already. Like it's shit. However, if it's coming from your throat, it's like food that's barely chewed up.
Okay, well, technically it's not solid food though. It's technically just gas passing through. If you know what I'm trying to say, like it's passing around the I understand. The smell is different. That's why I said it's not like a poop, horrible like stench like that. It was just a putrid, acidic, horrible little gas smell right into my face. It was just horrible, and I just wanted you to apologize. If you want to take accountability, you don't have to. That's up to you, bro.
All right, let's move on from the gross,
crazy. Right.
Gross intro.
Yeah, for sure. We could definitely move on. We have last week's takes. I don't even know if we got any last week's takes.
Oh,
but it's not. We don't even got to worry about that.
No, I do got one. I got one. I got to get off my chest, and we'll talk about it later. I finally talked about UFC last week.
Yep.
And all over it. I was ragging on UFC all over it. However, y'all saw Steve-O last episode, the guy with the jersey, we called him Wabi Sabi.
He is Wabi Sabi partially. He took offense to that, but I think it's perfect.
But yeah, Wabi Sabi made me sit down and watch UFC. You know what? It was actually really good. Yeah. It was actually really good. Honestly, I watched a lot of sports that night. I watched boxing. I watched the fight we had here in San Antonio with Lamonte Roach and Pitbull Cruz. I watched a lot of college football, the Bama Georgia game. I watched the Ohio State Indiana game. Yeah. And out of all the sports I watched, UFC was the one I enjoyed the most that night. So, take that back. Maybe I need to give UFC a little more of a chance. I did rag on it a lot. Maybe not that bad. Maybe I'm just wrong about everything I talked about.
I definitely think you freaking ragged on it like crazy. I personally enjoy UFC, especially the big fights. We're going to talk about that later. Quick question. Who won that fight between Pitbull and Cruz?
Oh, it was a draw, actually, which is kind of annoying. Pitbull Cruz came out really well. Started off really, really good, but Lamonte Roach kind of rallied back. They started just emoting on each other, like Pitbull Cruz. It's going to be a freaky...
What you mean?
Honestly,
fighting?
Yeah, this is about to be a very freaky episode. I guess we can start it off right here. Pitbull Cruz had like a tongue out, flicking his tongue at him toward the end of every chance he got, and they're just kind of trolling with each other. So honestly, I got a couple times is all right. A little bit of trolling is all right, but every round at that point, you are not taking it seriously. Right. Like if you're being buddy with the guy in the ring with you, how likely is it you're gonna go knock him out right after? Just mentally, like you're not in that headspace of a killer anymore. You're just kind of trolling around. So I didn't enjoy that much. Whereas in the UFC, it was all business.
Yeah,
all business.
Wait, so is boxing making us?
Nah.
Boxing possibly making?
No. Obviously, we just spoke. We have some news about talk about if we have time. AJ, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. There are some hitters. Bud Crawford, obviously a hitter. Usyk, Demon. There's some demons. Bam Rodriguez here out of the 210 San Antonio. So there's some hitters, but I don't know. Honestly, when you're emoting like that, it makes the sport look a little mickey, especially whenever you got a dog fight like Marab and what's his name, Piotr Jan. That fight going on at the same time. I mean, it doesn't compare. There was no comparison. I was trying to advocate for boxing the whole time, but I couldn't even. That other UFC fight was amazing.
No, for sure. I definitely agree with you. We could definitely get into our POS of the week after that. Little boxing talk. We have Michigan organization written down as a POS of the week.
Yeah. So, obviously, we're going to go talk a little bit about Sharon Moore. That is the big news out of the sports world right now. Honestly, crazy stuff going on with Sharon Moore. But as a whole, in general, you got Michigan organization. Just like 2 years ago, they got caught cheating, sign stealing in college football. They won the Natty off of that. They were not docked anything. I think Sharon Moore just got suspended for like half a season or so. Nothing crazy. They won a championship off that. Then, obviously, Sharon Moore, absolute psycho, gooner, just got caught.
We need to talk about that a little more.
We'll talk about that for sure. And then, on top of that, I did not know about this. Apparently Michigan did not let Notre Dame. That's another topic we have to talk about today. Notre Dame did not let Notre Dame in their conference in the 1920s because you might know a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so I heard that they did not let Notre Dame into their conference mainly because, in the 1920s, they wanted an anti-Catholic agenda, I guess you could say.
There we go.
And that's pretty big to say. And honestly, that kind of ties into where we're at today as, Texas fans. Unfortunately, Notre Dame didn't even make the playoffs.
Nope. They didn't.
Plus, they didn't even have. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Nah.
But that definitely ties into what they are gonna plan in the future. I believe they have a new rule that they made. If you want to, talk more on that.
Yeah. So, as Roy said, Michigan hates Catholicism, and they did not let Notre Dame join the conference. And Notre Dame recently got a ruling towards their favor. Like Roy mentioned, Notre Dame did not make the college football playoff. They were jumped by Miami, which is a little controversial just because the committee had Notre Dame over Miami throughout the entire season. And then last second, neither team played. Suddenly, Miami jumps Notre Dame without either team playing. So Nothing changed between them, but they changed the rankings from hopping each other.
Yeah.
Which, it makes sense. Miami should be in over Notre Dame just because Miami does have the head-to-head win. But why even put Notre Dame ahead of Miami if you're just going to flip them last second? Seemingly for no reason. Nothing changed in between the weeks.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame, starting next year, if they finish in the top 12 of the college football playoff rankings, they will be an automatic bid into the playoffs, which I think is some BS. Reason being, they have no conference, so conference champions get automatic bids. So you have teams like James Madison, Tulane that made it over Notre Dame. But Notre Dame's not in a conference, like Roy mentioned. Michigan stopped them from being in a conference back in the day, so they're independent. But they get a little special treatment because they're independent. Not only do they have a weak schedule, they now have special treatment where they'll automatically be in for being a top 12 team.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a take. I personally disagree with that entire take. I think it's pretty cool to see how Notre Dame is keeping their heritage. You know, like I said, in the 1920s, that is 100, a couple
About
years,
100 years ago,
yeah,
yeah.
man. And that is, it's really nice to see that. I definitely think it's a little interesting to see how other teams are going to get affected by this new rule. I feel like other teams are going to get, you know, kind of shafted in a way.
No, but I mean, yeah, sure, keep your heritage. Obviously, you have the big football Jesus looking over the football field, which is awesome. You know, Pat McAfee having students kick the field goals over a huge statue of Jesus Christ. Honestly, love JC. But, I mean, it's football at the end of the day. You should have your conference. I mean, that shouldn't play a part. I don't care if they don't want you in because of that. Make a change. You need to be in a dang conference. It's football at the end of the day. You know, there's religion and there's football. I love both of them. In that order, religion and football.
Okay.
Yeah, but come on, man, join a dang. It's not that hard to join a conference. It's 100 years ago.
Okay.
Get over it.
Okay,
Get over
so
it.
put your religion aside, right? And you know, like, okay, football. Let's handle it.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
Exactly. Let's handle this football. Come on, we're not the Catholic school for boys. We're not the Catholic school for boys. We have Heisman winners. We have Jeremiah Love that just won the Doak Walker Award. We're over here playing for college football playoff championships. Put that aside and join a dang conference. I don't care. Like I said, it was 100 years ago. Get over it. Retry it. Go back to the table. Honestly, I think it's weak. And even weaker than that, I think the fact that they opted out of their bowl game is very pathetic. Texas, you just mentioned we were Texas football fans, Longhorn football fans. They didn't make the bowl game. They have a very, very good record, 9-3. Obviously, they have 3 losses. But they beat 2 top 5 teams in the nation. You know what? We're not going to the playoffs. You know what we're playing? We're playing the dang Cheez-It Bowl. We're playing the Cheez-It Bowl. You know what? We're playing that with pride. We're happy about it. Whatever. It's a bowl game. At the end of the day, bowl games are made for players and organizations. Some of these players will be playing football for the last time in their entire lives. So these bowl games should reward these players that chose to go to your organization, your team, play for you. You should be playing these bowl games. You shouldn't be doing it as a big hissy fit because you didn't make the football playoffs. These are guys who are playing football for the last time in their career, going to the Pop-Tart Bowl. I don't care if it's not the football playoff. It's a dang Pop-Tart Bowl. That's the last time they ever played football in their lives. Reward them for that. So I think them throwing a hissy fit is honestly disgusting. Put the difference from 1920 aside. Join a conference. You're not special.
Right.
Notre Dame's soft for that.
I mean, I honestly agree with that in a way. I would say I disagree, but I definitely agree with that. I think Notre Dame should definitely play a bowl game, and you know, those vets that aren't able to, you know, showcase their talent for maybe even a late round draft pick in the NFL, they're not able to do that, and that's, you know, unfortunate to see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't have much more to say about that, but like you said,
yeah,
most of these guys aren't going to the NFL. They're going to be accountants in like a year or two, selling cars, I don't know, doing insurance. So why not reward them, let them play one last time for the team, for the Fighting Irish. Be the Fighting Irish. You are the Fighting Irish, but you sit out because you didn't make the playoffs. Players think you're not too big for the Pop-Tart Bowl. If UT is not too big for the Cheez-It Bowl, you aren't too big for the Pop-Tart Bowl. Play
right. And who's UT playing? They're playing Michigan, right?
Michigan. Ooh.
Michigan. Bryce Underwood?
Bryce Underwood, yeah. There's a lot of talk about Michigan.
No, for sure.
Here we go.
No, that's all good. A little wobby-sobby.
All right, and we're back. Technical difficulty, just 15 minutes into recording. Honestly, it's all on producer Jay. That's his light that gave out. But you know me. I come prepared. Light clutch. Jay over here been acting a fool recently. Light just went out. Wasn't here last episode. You know what? Even worse than that, went to sleep face down, ass up, clenching his butt cheeks throughout his sleep. I mean, I'm just going to mention that. I'm going to leave that there. You can do whatever you want with that. But you've been acting a fool, Jay. I'm not going to lie. You got to get your act together at this point.
Look, honestly, bro, yeah, you're smiling in the back.
I don't know if that's
He doesn't know what this is about. I have photo evidence of him sleeping with his legs in the air, butt cheeks up in the air, waiting for someone. Anyways, that brings us to our next segment directly with Sharon Moore.
That does bring us into Sharon Moore for sure.
And you know what? I don't know why all these college coaches have just been everyone in college football has been so freaky this year. Yeah. And it's just all being topped off by now ex-football head coach of Michigan Wolverines, Sharon Moore. So, let's see. I have charges right in front of me. So, officially, it's charges, felony count of third-degree home invasion, and 2 misdemeanors for stalking and breaking and entering.
Wow.
So, do you have anything to say about that?
I definitely do. Honestly, like, so much can change in a year. It's obviously crazy. He went from, he was a coach from, when they upsetted OSU last year. And they did take a L, I believe it was like, 27-9 or something like that, around there. And honestly, not the worst coach. I feel like these events unfolded very quickly, very, very quickly. I saw it on my feed. Sharon Moore fired, and I looked at the comment section. People were kind of they're mad. They were mad, and I was honestly kind of mad too. Knowing that coaches kind of just get fired. They come and go. I don't like that narrative, and seeing that happen is kind of balked you. But
the big but.
Yeah, no. But like I said, it started unfolding, slippery slope. The next post I see, his charges on the screen, and honestly, it's insane how quick things can unfold like that.
No, yeah. So as Roy alluded to, it all just kind of started coming out slowly.
For real.
Well, actually, no, very fast. And every time something new would come out, it just got worse and worse. So, from my point of view, same thing Roy said. So I got fired. So I got fired for cause. That's all they said. Then turns out he's over here having sexual relations with his staff while he's a married man with kids. All right, sometimes that happens. We talked about Lane Kiffin talking to those Snow Bunny Ole Miss girls. It happens. Different ones of staff, though, because that's your staff. Then stuff comes out that he's broken into their staff's apartment building and threatened self-harm. And then now we have charges of, breaking and entering,
not for
assault. I mean, it's a slippery slope.
This guy, who did he coach?
Jay, we weren't talking to you. So
crazy.
No, producer Jay, it's because the mic won't pick you up. Yeah. But Jay just asked who he coached. But he was the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. So obviously 2 years ago removed from winning the national championship. Obviously not under Sharon Moore. Jim Harbaugh was the head coach. Sharon Moore was one of his coordinators, but he took over a winning team. They brought him to 9-3. They have a top quarterback from last year's recruitment class. So they're on the up and up. 9-3, scheduled to play Texas in the Cheez-It Bowl. Yeah. Not bad at all. But Michigan Wolverines was his for sure his team.
Yeah, no, definitely a crazy story. I have a quick question. Do you agree or disagree with all these things that he's doing?
Come on, you're obviously trying to set me up right here.
I'm not setting you up. I'm asking you a simple question. Do you agree or disagree with what he's doing?
I can neither agree nor disagree with what he's... No, I'm playing. Obviously, I disagree with what he's doing. That's crazy work. Honestly, like I mentioned, a lot of these coaches are freaked out. Like, they're freaky as heck. We just talked about Lane Kiffin. We got Sharon Moore. Yeah. And so what I was talking to you a little bit about on the way here, you're a coach. You can't be chasing. You can't be chasing that. You can't be chasing the sniz. I'm not going to lie. If you're a head football coach, you cannot be cool, in my opinion. Like, you cannot be trying to get sniz at a college campus if you're a head coach. You got to be fat, like a Chip Kelly. No diss to these guys. Brian Kelly. You got to be fat, geezered out, or autistic. In my opinion, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh just won the national championship last time. Obviously, I'm not going to say obviously, he might be a little bit autistic. If you look at him, he's crazy. He's a crazy fool. So if you're going to be winning as a head coach, you're going to get caught up with all these allegations. Obviously, you're surrounded by young women at a university. You can't be chasing sniz at uni. You got to be – look, we look back at the last head coach that won, Ryan Day. He's a little porky pigged out. I'm not calling him fat. He just gives off that aura. Before him, Jim Harbaugh, like I mentioned, probably a little autistic. He's a little weird. Before that, in the best way possible, we talked about, before that, head coach of Georgia. What's his name?
It's hilarious.
We know his name. I'm not trying to be funny right now.
Head coach of Georgia is Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart, yes. Obviously a great coach. A little fatter. Well, I meant to say a little older, a little more heavy set. Cool guy, but not chasing sniz. And then before that, Nick Saban. Geezer, loyal man to his wife. I'm saying all these guys have these things in common. They're not chasing sniz, and where you see the downfall of these coaches, can't be doing that. You're too freaky. You're too freaky. You can't be freaky if you're a head coach for college football. That's my opinion.
Nah, I was kind of smirking that whole segment because the whole ramble you had. I kind of agree with you. You definitely can't be freaky as a head coach of a college campus, especially a D1 program. Any program, matter of fact. Some of these head coaches, like you said, Nick Saban, Geezer, the best college head coach, you say.
Kirby Smart.
Yeah, Kirby Smart. Some of the best names in head coaching history. And yeah, I definitely agree with you in that aspect. Some of the things you had to say about that the coach is having autism. That's a little OD in my opinion. It's quite OD. Quite OD. But that's why I was kind of just like kind of smirking. That's just why I was doing that. But no, we don't gotta cover that.
No, I'm not. It's not a bad thing saying you have autism. Autism isn't a bad thing.
Of course.
I'm sure a lot of these guys on some spectrum are autistic. Jim Harbaugh, come on, playing touch football with high school kids to recruit shirtless in the rain. It's a little autistic.
Look,
weird.
I don't know.
Not weird, but
look, I don't know. That is an interesting story that you had there.
It's not a story. It's truth.
It's truth. Whatever. True story. That was an interesting true story. Yeah. But I feel like these coaches don't necessarily have that. Maybe they're just a little funky on the funkier side. But nothing's wrong with having autism, of course. I believe Jeremiah Love is also on the spectrum, I believe, and he's a great guy. Jeremiah Love?
Yeah.
MVP, what is it, Heisman candidate right now, I believe.
Doak Walker. As of today, Doak Walker Award.
No, what is it? The
Doak Walker, best running back in college football. Wow. Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame, JC.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying. You were talking about Marcus Freeman, though.
Marcus Freeman, that's the head coach.
You're talking about of Notre Dame. You're giving him props on his looks a little bit. You say your looks.
No, definitely. Yeah, he looks maxing, no doubt. He's definitely, I'd say a
solid 9. What are you talking about?
High MTN. High MTN, if you know, you know.
I guess I don't know.
Kind of near Shadour, if you know what I mean. But I definitely think, he's one of those type of coaches where, you see an example. Yes, he's a, better looking coach. But he can also coach a competent football team without, it's a bare minimum. It's the bare minimum at the end of the day. You have a wife and kids. Sharon Moore, there's no excuse for what you did. Lane Kiffin, you're also in the same boat. Do you see a comeback with Sharon Moore just like Lane Kiffin?
No.
How do you explain both scenarios? Like, I'm so confused.
No. All right. So I guess to kind of wrap this, bring it all together. Obviously, a lot of jokes being thrown out here. Sharon Moore getting charged for all these allegations. It's very crazy. Very crazy. I'm calling him freaky. I'm saying all these things. But obviously, at the end of the day, no, it's a horrible thing he did. I think it's very horrible on Michigan's part how they handled it as well.
Sure.
Because apparently there are, not rumors, but statements that they did know he was mentally unwell, that he had problems, and they did not treat him. Along with that, they also waited to fire him after the recruitment cycle had already finished up, so the recruits, the kids coming in, wouldn't know that their head coach didn't get fired soon. Because obviously, if your head coach is getting fired so close to the recruitment cycle, you're not going to want to come in because it's so unstable. So Michigan, again, they're our POS of the week. That's a big part of it as well. They lied to these college kids saying they're going to have this head coach coming in. They promised him this head coach knowing dang well that he had all these problems with mental health, problems with his personal life, and had the intention of firing him. So I joked a lot about it. Obviously, at the end of the day, horrible situation for Sharon Moore. Lost $13 million, all the damage he inflicted on his victims, his family, the Michigan organization. Overall, everyone, it is a horrible situation in general. So I'm joking around a lot about it, but at the end of the day, there's no excuse. For Michigan's part, Sharon Moore as a professional making millions of dollars, at the end of the day, it's all horrible news.
Yeah.
You have something to say about that?
No, not really. I definitely agree with you on that. That was a great ending to that whole, Sharon Moore talk. Michigan organization, definitely tainting that entire, but
We can move on to the next
definitely. We can definitely get into some lighter, more uplifting topics. Definitely, smile a little more.
I'm smiling.
I'm smiling too. The producer Jay smiling in the back. We're feeling good. We can get into some NBA topics. We got the San Antonio Spurs. We're out the rip. I feel like we haven't talked about them in a while, but they are on a hot streak. We could pull that up. I don't really want to pull it up, but Jay, producer Jay, if you want to pull it up for us. You look up their schedule right now. And I want to check out their past couple of dubs. But they're on a hot streak, no doubt about that. Still without Wemby. He is projected to come back Saturday, I believe. Yeah, most likely, from what I heard. And I'm very excited to see that. They are playing the OKC Thunder. Massive matchup.
Huge game. So obviously, they've been on a hot streak. They just beat the Lakers in the first round of the in-season tournament. Yep. Obviously, we had a discussion earlier, and I mentioned this exact scenario. Wouldn't you be a little hyped to see the Spurs in this situation competing for something a little bit bigger than a regular season type of deal? Sure. And yeah, there's definitely a different atmosphere to it. A lot more that comes with winning a game like that, especially against a player like LeBron, a player like Luka. These players that have championship pedigree, and we have such a young team, seeing them step up in a big game like that is massive for the fan base and for the growth of the team as well. As you mentioned, they're without Wemby. We have all these players stepping up right now for San Antonio, but the big matchup, the big bad 24-1 historic pace OKC Thunder on Saturday. This will be the biggest test of the season so far for the Spurs, and having Wemby back will be massive. So a lot of hype going around, a lot of smiling face in San Antonio. Wemby should hopefully be back and healthy. Hopefully we don't rush him too fast into it. And it's going to be a huge matchup on Saturday.
No, for sure. Absolutely massive matchup. Massive. And I really feel like, honestly, a little prediction. I think the San Antonio Spurs are going to win, coming up this Saturday. In-season cup tournament to get into the finals. I know you said that you like the in-season cup. You think it brings a new atmosphere, little playoff experience for these young fellas. I totally agree with you. I know I disagreed at first, but I definitely like the entire atmosphere of it. And I also like how the Spurs are moving. They are playing small ball with these guards, even though the guards are bigger, but still playing small ball. And they're able to get these dubs by really taking more possessions, limiting turnovers. And, it's great to see that again. Like, I feel like Spurs offense is always cemented with, that pass first, find the open man, get a good shot. And I feel like we're seeing that, nowadays. And it's good to see De'Aaron Fox at the helm, with the vet status that he has, even though he's, a young guy as well.
No, for sure. And, you talk about the small ball lineup. We got a new nickname for Castle and Dylan Harper, the Slash Bros. Obviously, a little play off the Splash Bros. And it's crazy to talk about Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, the Slash Bros, and you're not even mentioning De'Aaron Fox in that statement. Crazy, yeah. That just talks to the amount of depth that San Antonio has right now. Obviously, 3 players that play very similar style of basketball. Yeah. People wondered how that might mix and match, but you're always going to have that slashing guard, very savvy, smart players. You're always going to have one of those guys on the court at all times, barring injury, obviously. Yeah. And they're playing great ball. But you mentioned that you think that San Antonio is going to beat OKC this weekend. Not so fast, my friend. I don't think so. I think OKC Thunder are going to keep rolling. They're on a historic pace right now, and I believe the OKC Thunder, unfortunately, are going to take care of San Antonio this weekend, probably win the whole cup. They're just playing such good ball right now. San Antonio is still inexperienced. I think it'll be a close game until the end where OKC might take the lead a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think OKC, with their veteran presence, championship experience, and just the run they're having right now, will take care of San Antonio, but it'll be a competitive game. So I will disagree in that sense right there. Okay.
And so you basically wrapped up our next part of this, the NBA tourney predictions. So you predict that OKC is going to win the entire thing?
Yep.
Okay. And I personally disagree with you. I believe the Spurs are going to take it all the way. And then I believe they're going to be like a Pacers team and take it to the finals this year. And honestly, unlike the Pacers, clean it up and win in under 6, honestly, whoever they play.
Oh, my gosh.
That's my take. That's my personal take.
That's crazy to say. You know what? I'm going to stick with my take from the beginning of the year and say the Nuggets are still winning the chip. I'm going to stick with it. I said at the beginning of the year, and they're still playing good ball. But Spurs are just not there yet in terms of experience. Yeah. None of their players have been in that situation except for obviously Harrison Barnes, who was on the Golden State team that won their first chip. Yeah. Unk, the youngest Unk they're talking. I think he's only 33 years old, but it seems like he's 40. And then
did you say
Harrison Barnes?
Wow, he's 30.
He's only 33.
Mr. 100%.
Mr. 100%.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, people were saying he's the youngest Unk in the league right now.
Seems like
he's been playing for forever, but. And then obviously De'Aaron Fox is part of that Sacramento team. Let the beam, took it to the Warriors, but didn't win that series. So I just think inexperience will catch up to them at the end of the day, and they're maybe a year or two away from really, really contending, being those conference championship games.
All right, yeah, I mean that's definitely a fair take. I'm not gonna say too much on that. I definitely want to talk about some things that I heard, some trade rumors. Little Giannis Antetokounmpo. I know we always talking about him. I believe we talked about him last epi as well. I feel like we're hearing about it more, especially because, Steph Castle stepping up. I think we saw that top 3 in the MVP ladder for NBA Cup, and we got tricked by that. But that kind of brings an interesting point into what trade package would you send for Giannis Antetokounmpo? With Steph Castle being so good, sorry.
Yeah, no, I did literally go back a week ago and said I would trade anyone except for Wemby for Giannis. It's kind of hard to say that now after seeing how good Steph Castle has played. Obviously, he just dropped 30 points in that in-season game. Like you mentioned, top 3 in MVP voting for in-season tournament, not regular MVP voting, but could be definitely a future All-Star, maybe even All-Star this season already. But at the end of the day, I'm going to stick by with what I said. Giannis, top 2 player in the league. Obviously, Steph Castle is going to be a really good player. He already is a really good player. But at the end of the day, if you have the chance to get Giannis, it's not very often a player like that goes in the trade block. Yeah. You trade everyone except for your main guy, which is Wemby for us. So even though Steph Castle is playing great, I would still say I would send him in a trade to this day still. So my package would include big package. Harrison Barnes, Steph Castle, probably like Luke Cornett, and like 5 first-rounders. Something like that.
Yep. Luke Cornett as well?
Luke Cornett as
5
well.
5 first-rounders? Okay, whole future. Yep. But I would personally think of a trade more like a little Steph Castle, Kelly Olynyk, 4 first-rounders. Maybe a little 3 first-rounders, couple seconds. Nothing crazy. Maybe even a Harrison Barnes. I would definitely not give up a Luke Cornett. But yeah.
I mean, you think about the end of the day, is the reason you're not going to get Giannis, Luke Cornett. At the end of the day, if you see Giannis on a team like the Knicks or, I don't know, the Warriors or, God forbid, the Thunder, and you say, oh, man, the reason we didn't get Giannis is because we didn't trade away Luke Cornett, is that really going to be what stops you from going out there and getting a player like Giannis? Well, obviously, Luke Cornett's a good player and he plays his role amazingly. I love having Luke Cornett, even though he just got dunked on by LeBron. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let a player like Luke Cornett not let me go out there and get Giannis. At the end of the day, that is a player that is very good, but not someone I even think about when I'm trading for a player like Giannis.
No, I get what you're saying. Not that you say that like out loud. I guess that makes a little more sense. But I feel like whenever you say that, other teams are going to be like, oh, okay, I could definitely make a package like that as well. But no one's going to send their entire team, like you just said, Steph Castle, Luke Cornett, and who's going to play?
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes, 3, pretty good role players, very talented, 1 All-Star potential, and 5 first-rounders. Many teams could, make a haul like that, but no team will be willing to send that to an aging Giannis, who off of cap stream right now. And obviously Giannis is an MVP player, MVP caliber player every season, and I still don't think you should send the whole boat.
But I mean, come on, Giannis is only 31 years old, 31, still in his prime. And if you trade with this player, your starting lineup still consists of Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jeremy Shohan, and Wemby. Right. That is an insane. That's a big 4 right there. Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, Giannis, and Wemby. At the end of the day, you can still get depth in other ways. We still have other players that aren't playing. Jones Garcia. We got players like that can step up in that role. Keldon Johnson. We forgot Keldon Johnson. No. We have a lot of depth. So that starting lineup, that potential, you still have a lot of depth behind there. Right. You're going to be fine without dang Luke Cornett.
Look, I totally agree with you, but like you just said, you're naming a lot of guards who could score, play defense, people like that. But whenever you take out a big like Luke Cornett out of the system, he is our backup big man right now. No one is playing behind him. You didn't name one big man out there. And so it's like, yes, these guards can step up, but we still need someone to get the rebounds, do some gritty work in the paint. And I definitely think that is definitely an overhaul that you just said. And
at the end of the day, your big men are going to be Giannis and Wemby, your starting big man. Obviously, a big flaw of the Spurs recently with Wemby have been the lack of a backup big man. The lack of a true big man, like you said, to do the dirty work in the paint. But I'm not going to let a dirty work big man get in the way of me getting Giannis. At the end of the day, it's just crazy to say. You're really going to Luke Cornett. You're not going to give away Luke Cornett to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's crazy to say, in my opinion. That is a backup. No, I'm not going to say nothing, big man. He's played his part. He's definitely elevated this a lot. But that's a replaceable piece for an irreplaceable asset.
No, right. I agree with you. But I feel like this situation is going to end up being where, God forbid, but where a situation where Wemby gets injured. Wemby gets injured. Okay, Wemby gets injured. Like he has. He has a injury history, unfortunately. And Giannis is, yes, 31 in his prime, late prime, in my opinion. But the way he plays, he's not going to be past 35 doing, what he's doing, in my opinion. He runs and dunks at the rim. He doesn't really have a jumper, in my opinion. Maybe a midi, but you know what I mean? He relies on the paint. You get hit in the paint. You're definitely not going to age well. I definitely think Giannis's timeline out of his prime is coming up very soon rather than later. I would not give up 5 first-rounders for that. I would not. That's your whole future. That's your whole future.
Look, 5 first-rounders. You said Giannis probably got another good 4 years in him.
I doubt it.
So your first-rounders are going to be what? From pick 25 to 30? From pick 25 to 30? Really? You just said yourself he has 4 more years of prime, paired with Wemby, who's going to be entering his prime. Your first-rounders are going to be late first-rounders from the pick 25 to 30, all those years. Again, God forbid injury. You can't you can't really prepare for injury. Not really. Like, injuries happen all the time.
Kind of.
You can have a good backup. For in case of injury. But injuries just happen. They're part of the game. So they're gonna happen. They're gonna happen. But at the end of the day, it's Giannis, dude. It's Giannis.
Look, I get what you're saying, but the injuries are gonna happen. Whenever. But there are definitely more injury-prone type players. Sending your whole future for an injury-prone type player, in my opinion, Giannis has been struggling with this calf strain. This isn't something new. This came up last year near the playoffs, I believe. And I feel like it's going to linger to his whole final years into his NBA career. And sending the whole future is kind of crazy. Definitely that Luke Cornett take, in my opinion, is a little wild as well. I feel like he should definitely stay on the Spurs. But I do believe they should, haul a nice little Steph Castle, little Kelly Olynyk, maybe some other.
Okay.
I would say Harrison Barnes, but I like Harrison Barnes a lot.
I'm crying right now, bro. You're saying you wouldn't trade players like Harrison Barnes?
Bro, Mr. 100%, bro.
Okay, we're gonna agree to disagree on that. We're gonna agree to disagree. I'll wrap it up by asking you. Okay, that trade package I mentioned with Harrison Barnes,
yep,
Luke Cornett, Stephon Castle, 5 first-round picks. Is there any player in the NBA right now that you would send that for? No doubt. Think about a Jokic. Think about a Giannis. Think about a Luka. These top players. Is there any player in the NBA you would send that for?
Look. The only reason I'm disagreeing with you in this scenario is because the Spurs need a backup big man. You can't run Giannis and Wemby, you can't play them the whole game. You know what I'm trying to say? They need a backup, but they're gonna get exposed. And so in this scenario, this trade package with the Spurs, it's not ideal. I would definitely send this trade package to other teams. Of course, like a Shea. Come on, I would definitely send it for a Giannis too in the right scenario. But not this scenario with the Spurs. No. Yeah, that's a miss.
So is there any?
Yeah, like I just said, any team, literally any other team that has a possibility with a backup big man.
No, if you're the Spurs, would you send that trade package for any player? Again, like a Shea, like a Luka. Would you send that? Because you mentioned the main thing for you, Giannis, is that he has a little bit of an injury history as of recently, lack of a big man. Is there any player that you would send 5 first-round picks for? Luke Cornett, Harrison Barnes, and Steph Castle. Any player, Luka, Shea, anyone on the board?
Definitely not Luka.
Wow.
I'm really leaning towards Shea. I'm trying to think. A Shea Fox Wemby lineup would be quite impressive. But like I said, in the Spurs scenario, you're losing your backup big man. They need someone in return. That's it. That's my final take on it. This scenario does not work. This trade possible or whatever it's called. I definitely don't like it. Like I said, Spurs are losing their backup big man. I think that's essential to have in a lineup. I think many people will agree with me as well. Kind of a funny little take. What do you think, Producer Jay?
Yeah, what do you
think? Luke Cornett, give it up, Luke Cornett. What do you think?
I don't think Wemby's entering his prime. 25 minutes.
Yeah. So.
I think Wemby, how old is he right now?
21.
I don't think he enters his prime until
Damn, that is crazy.
27.
21, being
21. Later, 20s.
But. Yeah, Producer Jay said that he doesn't think that Wemby is in his prime right now. But however, I actually technically wasn't even asking Producer Jay. I was asking, I wanted to ask the fans.
No, honestly though, look, that was good insight by Jay. That I really think you spit with that. Wemby is gonna be in his prime in what, like 6-7 years, and like I really feel like Giannis is gonna be done by then. There is no point in rushing and like selling Wemby's entire future. You would honestly want to get out of there. What are you on about?
Look. Because I'm thinking of the analogy. Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, same type of situation. Obviously, Magic, he was a rookie. Kareem was towards the latter part of his career, but they were able to match together while Magic Johnson was still a young player, barely a rookie, and get those chips early on in his career. And that propelled him to get those early chips. And then when Kareem was gone, they built future chips on top of that as well. You got to capitalize when you have a player like that, and especially when a player like Giannis, very similar in my opinion to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, even going to where they're playing right now, you can pair him up in that situation. So when you're talking about Wemby being so young, why wait until he's in the prime of his career to get a player like that? Why not just do it right now? He's a very great player. He's already probably a top 10 player in the league. You can match him with another top 10 player the same way Magic Johnson and Kareem were back to the Lakers.
Okay, that's not a crazy take, but Magic Johnson is a point guard. Kareem is a center, okay? Wemby is a center.
Magic Johnson played center in the finals his first year as a rookie.
He's a point guard, bro. It's like Jay over here cheesing 2K lineups. He's a point guard, brother. And look, okay, I get what you're saying. That's a good one. Wemby's a center. Giannis is a power forward. Luke Cornett is a backup center. Where you see what I'm trying to say?
We can sign another backup center. You will never find a guy like Giannis out there that'll be on the trade market.
You can't just sign great backup centers like Luke Cornett, bro. Come on, dude.
I just said Luke Cornett is a replaceable center. While Giannis is an irreplaceable piece. You can't compare the two.
No, I agree. I totally agree. But you're not gonna win a championship. You're selling Wemby's entire future, and you have a risk where you're getting 2 injuries. You don't want that. You're selling your entire future. Wemby, honestly, if I was Wemby, you sold the entire future of the Spurs organization over here, risking it all on one player. I'm leaving in free agency right away once I see Giannis retiring in like a couple of years.
No.
Immediately.
You just mentioned this entire Spurs future. 5 years, you just mentioned Wemby will be barely entering his prime in 5 years. So once you start getting first round draft picks back, he's barely entering his prime. You can re-up on that. And plus you will have a player like Dylan Harper entering his prime as well. You have a young enough core where you'll be fine. And you know what? Do you have a rebuttal for that? We can do one last rebuttal and then we'll have to take a little break just for the camera.
Nah, personally, yes. I that was a good final take. I feel like I kind of agree with that. We could definitely cut it right here though.
Good on that?
Yeah, I'm good on that.
All right, let's take a break.
Let's get right back into it. Speaking about Luke Cornett, his previous team, the Celtics, Tatum, their star player, coming back from a Achilles tear. Only after 7 months, he's back playing one-on-one. Any thoughts on that? I just want to mention it really quick.
Nah, I don't care. I really don't care, truly. Not a big fan of the C's, not a big fan of Tatum. I don't care about any of them. To be honest.
Why is that?
I just
don't
don't.
your feelings?
Nah, I just don't like them. They're just not a team to care for. Too far up north. I don't care about the Boston Celtics, in my opinion. They're a nothing team, in my opinion.
They're a historic franchise up there with the Lakers. Yes, I agree. I personally don't have a personal liking for the Celtics. I do like Tatum. He's a superstar. He's a baller. I always like seeing him on the court producing great games against many different teams, especially the Lakers, Spurs, teams like that. Historic franchises, to say that you just don't care about them is crazy to say. I love whenever the Celtics are fully healthy. And I would love to see that Thunder matchup. They had great matches last season. I don't know if you watched any. Did you watch any?
Nope.
That's crazy. You don't appreciate ball. And I mean, we don't got to get into that, but they had great matchups. Whoever watched it. But yeah, that's why I wanted to put it, talk about it. And,
No, I like that Tatum is an American player. Obviously, I have American propaganda. I think Americans need to get better at basketball. So he's one of the only good American players we have. So obviously, wanting him back, we're going to get smashed next Olympics, honestly, with him leading the way. Tatum's a soft player. He's light-skinned. I don't really care too much about it. But I do like American players, so prayers up for him. And at the end of the day, I was very devastated when he did get injured. I remember that. I do remember that. When he got injured, I was pretty devastated just because you don't like seeing players get hurt. You don't like seeing players of that caliber getting hurt, especially on the big stage. Like, again, a Tyrese Halliburton. You want to see greatness at their full potential, these teams at their full power playing. That's when you get the best games, the best matchups. So, you're right. The East, we talked about the East. They're very evened out right now. So having one of the better teams historically and recently in the East being at full power, being powered up like the Infinity Stones, having the Celtics at full power will be a good treat. We do need those good matchups in the East. Competition.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that kind of wraps up our NBA take. We definitely got some more news for NBA coming soon with the NCAA tournament finishing up. Winter ball, Christmas ball, always fun and exciting to watch some NBA. But yeah, we could definitely get into our next segment.
Let me try to remember it. Oh man,
gold.
brain fart. All right.
Hit the little final.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the Baker's Gold NFL zone.
Yeah, there you go. Good to remember. Yeah, we can definitely get into some pick'ems, Week 15 pick'ems. I don't know if you have them written down already. Yeah, let's get that pulled up really quick.
You can start off with the first one. I pull it up.
We definitely. Let's see. We got Thursday night football this past night. Atlanta Falcons at Tampa Bay. Interesting match. Did you watch it?
Yep, I watched the whole game.
Who did you pick?
Why are you geeking over there? But
I thought you were the cat.
No, I watched the full game. No, I definitely watched the full game actually. Yeah, so I watched it while I was studying in the library. That's probably why I got 49 on the test. I'm still butthurt over that. Anyways, no, very butthurt. I'm tweaking. But yeah, no, I picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe you did as well.
Nah, I picked the Falcons.
No, you didn't. Oh my god, no.
Crazy, bro. Yeah, no, I definitely picked the Buccaneers, but I was so close to picking the Falcons. I'm disappointed that I didn't. But
yeah, right. No,
both took an L on that.
Very, very good game though. It was a very good game. Atlanta wins off a walk-off field goal, winning 29-28. Yeah. Tampa Bay really messed themselves up there, throwing on. They really mathematically. I don't think they mathematically could have finished the game out, but they should have ran the ball, took some more time off the clock. They left too much money for Kirkified to go down the field and get that game-winning drive to set up a field goal. But both took an L on that, starting 0-1. Moving on to Cleveland Browns at Chicago Bears. Who do you got?
Cleveland Browns at Chicago Bears. I think the Chicago Bears are going to bounce back after an unfortunate L against the Packers last week. Yeah, give me the Chicago Bears. Cleveland! This is for you!
No, I got the Chicago Bears winning as well. Do I? Hold up. Let me find it. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yes, I do got the Chicago Bears winning. Cleveland obviously doing better than usual. A little optimism in the room because Shadour is balling out.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland. Am I talking?
I thought you said Chicago. My fault, bro.
Cleveland showing out a little more optimism. Same thing for Chicago, though. They are playing well. They did take the L as predicted. But I got Chicago winning this matchup. Schmicky. But we got Baltimore at Cincinnati. Who do you got?
I was about to say some stuff, but we're going to talk about that later. I promise. About Baltimore. Baltimore at Cincinnati, though. Give me Baltimore. Yeah.
Why is that?
Baltimore. I think they're going to bounce back a little. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Just bounce back? No football readings?
No bounce back game. We're going to talk about it, though. I don't want to get too much into it. That's why. Because then I'll start ranting. We'll talk about it later.
Type shit. Yeah. All right. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Obviously, I got Baltimore. Same reason. I think they're just going to bounce back, in my opinion. I don't think they drop 2 to Cincinnati this season, especially with their backs against the wall. But, I mean, these superpowers of the past years have been falling off, and that brings us to our next matchup. LA Chargers at Kansas City. Who do you got?
I feel like this is going to be one of the better divisional games, no doubt. Wait, the Chargers are part of the division?
They're in the same division.
Okay, I was about to say. But, yeah, I definitely think that it's going to be a really good game. Kansas City, oh, my gosh. Brandon's take is just coming back to haunt us.
Truly.
Haunt you, honestly. I kind of agree with them. I think the Chiefs' dynasty is falling off. Give me the Chargers to, really, I don't even know if they're probably favorites at this point. Who knows? Yeah. At Kansas City, though, they're probably not. Give me them to upset the Chiefs.
Yeah, I also have the Chargers as well. And you know what? Past weeks, I've been saying same thing. It's been a broken record. Kansas City, backs against the wall. They're going to show up. They have Patrick Mahomes, so they got to win these games. They know they got to win, but they have not been winning them. So, finally, I will pick against the Chiefs, and I am picking the LA Chargers as well. Huge matchup. You just said that might be the biggest divisional matchup. No, I think this truly one is the biggest matchup. Buffalo at New England. If New England wins, they clinch the division right here. Buffalo has won, I believe, all of the division championships back to 2019. Damn. So this would be changing back to the guard of New England if they win. But Buffalo, New England, big game. Who do you got?
Definitely a massive game. Shout out Josh Allen. I believe he's going to have a kid with Haley Steinfeld, I believe. I just saw it on the feed, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm doom scrolling, but look, I'm getting content. I'm getting. I don't know what to say. But yeah, shout out Josh Allen. I think, the New England Patriots are going to close them out, though, winning 2-0 in the season in their matchups. Yeah, give me the Patriots.
It's going to be a good-looking baby. But, I've always said, quarterback can't be a man until he has a child. In my opinion, that's from Throw God.
Okay, right.
If you know Throw God.
Throw God, yep.
He always dissed Aaron Rodgers. How are you going to be afraid to have a child? How can you be afraid to bring life into this earth
Wow.
and raise a man as a man? You can't do that. And that always stuck to me. So him bringing a child into this earth.
Right.
I actually don't know where I'm going with that. I'm going with New England.
No.
No, I'm wrong. I'm going with Buffalo for that reason, because he's bringing a child into
He's
this
gonna show
earth.
out. He's gonna
He's going to show out.
I was gonna say you're going against what you're saying, bro.
No, I got Buffalo actually. I'm tweaking off that one. But I do believe that if you're a man, you should bring life into this earth. You can't be too afraid to do it. However, I will not. No, I won't be having a child actually. I don't. I always say I won't be having one, so I won't be personally. But if you're a quarterback in the NFL, you probably have some kids, honestly.
What if you trans?
Nah, chill, bro. Hey, producer Jay.
Chill with
Producer
all
Jay,
that.
we're not gonna get into all that. Actually, speaking on that, Jewayne, look.
What do you say?
Look, you had something.
What do you say?
I'm not gonna say it right now, but I had a question about you. You said they're gonna have a beautiful baby. I was kind of confused about that. Like, just like a beautiful. Like, what do you exactly mean by that? 'Cause that's just kind of like a weird thing to say, in my opinion.
What do you mean? It's gonna be a beautiful baby. What do you mean?
Just a weird thing to say. Like, it's a weird thing to kind of insinuate, in my opinion.
I'm not insinuating anything. I think every baby that God brings onto this earth is actually beautiful in its own. But Josh Allen's a good-looking dude.
Right.
Stanfield's a
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So you kind of it's kind of weird that you say that. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're reaching right now. You're definitely reaching right now. It's just gonna be a beautiful baby. There's nothing weird.
No,
about
I
it.
get what you're saying. There's nothing weird about it. I agree. But you're kind of basing it off of, okay, damn, Josh Allen's looks, Haley Stanfield's looks. We're going to combine them, and damn, it's going to be a beautiful baby.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
kind of like a crazy thought process.
Not really. Like, if Jay has a child with freaking Eli, producer E, it's not gonna be freaking as beautiful as Haley Steinfeld and.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
That's
come on,
not weird
bro.
to say. They're two good-looking people. It's gonna be a strong, tall, sturdy baby.
Is there such thing as ugly babies? I believe so, right? Is there such thing as ugly? See, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no such thing as ugly babies.
It won't be an ugly baby. It won't be an ugly baby. Let's just say it like that. I didn't think it was too weird to say. I truly did not think it was too weird to say.
It's not weird to say.
Congratulate two people on having a beautiful baby. Not really. It's gonna be a beautiful baby.
Yeah, I congratulate them. So I agree with that definitely.
But that's not weird to say. They're two good-looking people, and their child's gonna be beautiful. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely agree. All babies are beautiful, but the way you made it seem I'm gonna combine both of their looks type.
No, it's not.
It's kind of just it's kind of no. I agree with what you're saying though. I might be tripping. I might be doing too much.
No,
Honestly, right?
you're doing too much. Look, honestly, some babies are more beautiful than others. Some parents are better looking than others. Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen will create a better looking baby than Lamar Jackson and I don't know, freaking Angel Reese.
Nah,
Obviously.
you're crazy.
Wait, you know what?
Why though? Why though? Why though?
Let's think of a different
But
one.
why though? For real, that's what I'm trying to say.
Think of a different one.
Shaq and Insurance. Nah, but real talk, I'm kind of confused on what you're trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
They're two good-looking people, so they create good-looking babies. Two not as good-looking people would not create as good.
So you're saying good-looking babies, bro? It's just okay. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus or anything. We don't got to talk about it anymore. It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? I had to say something about it. I definitely congratulate both of them. But yeah, other than that, I got the Patriots. Drake made Moggs.
I got the Buffalo Bills. And next we got Washington at New York Giants. The hell was that?
That's my dream.
All right,
My fault.
Washington and New York Giants. Who do you got?
Washington let me down last week. I can't lie. They got destroyed by 9, bro. They got destroyed by 9. I think they lost 31-0. Giants are banged up though. Do you know if they had Jackson Dart?
I have no idea. Producer Jay's on that.
Yo, producer Jay. Can you look up if the Giants are starting Jackson Dart? Just look up Giants injury report. Other than that, I think the Giants are gonna win if they have Jackson Dart. I don't think the Washington Redskins are really gonna pull through.
The what? Excuse me, the what?
What do you mean?
You said the Washington what?
The Washington Redskins.
They're the Commanders, buddy.
Bro, look.
There you go.
Wait, Jackson Dart's clear? Yeah, I had the Giants, no doubt.
They're the Commanders now, buddy.
The other Commanders, that is my fault. Freudian slip. But yeah, give me the Giants.
I got the Commanders myself.
Commanders?
I know they just lost 31-0, but Giants are
Against
no good.
9, bro.
Hey, 9's the national champion at the end of the day.
True.
With Michigan. Shout out to M. Michigan, just kidding.
They're POS, bro.
No shout out. Anyways, I'm still trying to recuperate from that attack you had on my dang character just a little while ago. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we got it.
But I got the Washington Commanders. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Philly let me down. They let you down as well last week. We unfortunately picked them against the Chargers. Honestly, this week, I believe the Las Vegas Raiders are going to upset the Eagles and give them an L, bro. Yeah, that's my take.
You're capping.
Nope, that's my take.
No way.
That's my take.
Obviously Philly's lost 3 games in a row, which is horrible.
Give me 4.
At the end of the day, the Vegas Raiders are the worst team in the NFL, and they're not beating the Eagles. This is a get-right game. They're not beating the Eagles. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. Hold up. At Philly, yeah, definitely. That's a huge L on your part, and I'll take that. New York Jets at Jacksonville Jaguars. Who do you got?
All right, bro. New York Jets at Jacksonville. Did New York Jets win their last game?
No.
Got the thing pulled up? No, they didn't. Who did they play?
The Jets, Dolphins.
That was a good game. Dolphins though. But give me Jacksonville Jaguars.
Me too. Not much to say about there.
Yeah.
No, they were not.
That was not a good game at all. My gosh.
No. Arizona. Yeah, I got the Jaguars as well. Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans. Who do you got?
Houston Texans are on a hot streak. Give me the Houston Texans.
Me as well. I got the Texans. Moving on. Green Bay at Denver. Huge game. Huge teams. Massive game, honestly. Green Bay at Denver. Who do you got? All right, so I got the Denver Broncos to win this game. Obviously, Green Bay just came off the huge win in the division with the Bears. But I got the Denver Broncos to keep it rolling. I know that the offense hasn't been the greatest, but I think that defense steps up and beats Green Bay at home.
Nah, for sure. Excuse my laughter. Producer Jay over there trolling. But yeah, definitely give me Green Bay Packers to get a dub for the NFC conference. I think the Denver Broncos are on a hot streak and they are a good team. But I think Green Bay is a powerhouse right now, and they're going to come out with another dub for the NFC and get that 1 seed.
Massive game. Detroit Lions at LA Rams, 2 of the hottest teams. Well, not the hottest teams, but 2 of the best teams definitely in the NFC. Who do you got?
Massive game indeed. I think the Rams are going to come out with this one. They lost last week, I believe, or did they win that one?
Rams, they won.
They won, yes. They had a good game as well. Lions are also a very good team. 2 offensive. Ooh, I should have betted on this a little. I can't lie. I did. But 2 very good offensive teams. I think it's going to be a very good match, and give me the Rams.
Give me the Rams as well. Carolina.
Picks,
all right, bro. Carolina at the Saints. New Orleans. Who do you got?
Carolina at Saints. I believe Saints got a dub last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Tyler Shook?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me. Give me the Carolina Panthers, though. They're on a nice little winning streak, winning a couple games. I don't know exactly the amount.
They beat the Rams.
But yeah, definitely a nice team to look out for. But yeah, give me the Panthers for sure.
Yeah, I got Carolina as well. I'm not copying you. I've had it written down since like Wednesday. Tennessee Titans at the Niners. Who do you got?
Give me the Niners. Nothing more to say about that, to be honest.
Niners. Give me the Niners as well. 49. That's a grade I got on my exam today.
Ooh.
Dragging it. Indianapolis Colts at Seattle Seahawks. Who do you got?
For sure. It's going to be an interesting one. I think the Seahawks are going to come out with it. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, though, and I might regret this one. I'm really kind of wanted to pick Colts, but I think the Seahawks will come out with it.
Really? You think Seattle's going to beat Phillip Rivers in his comeback game? Here we go. All right, we can talk about that a little bit later.
Definitely
I got Seattle as well. Again, mentioning Phillip Rivers, 44 years old, coming back. Let's see how he does against one of the top teams in the league. Minnesota at Dallas. Dallas Cowboys, we just talked about them recently. Playoff chance is very low, but they got Minnesota coming into town. The return of 9. We mention it every time, return of 9. But you're coming into Dallas, Sunday Night Football. Who do you got?
Give me the Dallas Cowboys to get a dub against the Minnesota Vikings.
9. All right. Monday Night Football, massive game for you. Your 2 favorite teams, the Miami Dolphins at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Monday Night Football. Who do you got?
Definitely the Steelers. No doubt about that. We're going to talk more about the Steelers in a second. But yeah, unfortunately, the Dolphins are going to take this L. Their hot streak is going to end right here against the Steelers for Monday Night Football. And yeah.
All right. I have the Steelers as well. Just better team in general. Solid team. Good coaching. Give me the Steelers to win.
We got a lot of identical picks. Honestly, I think I really need Las Vegas Raiders to come through right here for me.
That is a crazy one. But yeah, going back to last week, you finished at I said 6-8?
6-8, yeah.
And I had 7-7, I believe. 6-8, 7-7. So I'm only ahead by 1 from last week, but overall I still think I'm behind maybe like 4 or 5 picks.
Probably a little more.
I don't know about a little bit more, but I am making up ground slowly, week by week, pick by pick, and hopefully that will help me overall on the season. But yeah, you can move us on into our other NFL topics we got going on.
For sure, bro. We can definitely get into some more NFL topics. Quick little one. We got Shadour Sanders is the first rookie this season to throw for 300 plus yards. His exact stats are 364 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 rushing TD. Any thoughts about that?
I gotta say, really, yeah. No, I mean, he showed out. Obviously, it was against a really bad team.
He lost, though.
He did lose.
I forgot to say that. He did lose.
It was against a really bad team, Tennessee Titans. He still lost against a really good team, or a really bad team. But he played well. He had a couple moments where I watched him like, dang, he's actually a pretty good quarterback. So, I'm not going to say he's horrible. Not going to say he's great either. But he is playing well, like you said. First rookie of the season to throw for over 300 yards. That is a lot of yardage, 364.
It's a lot.
4 total touchdowns. That's a really good game from a rookie, from any quarterback in general. So, shout out Shadour Sanders. I hated on him a lot, but he's playing really well right now.
Not for sure. I'd love to see some Shadour Sanders love. We could definitely get into this next take. We got 9. There's a little comeback at 9 again. We got 9 comes back and tricks everyone.
What they wrote down there? What's wrong with you today?
Look, bro, it was an accident. Kind of finish line.
Go ahead.
Look, 9 comes back and tricks everyone. 31-0 dub against the Redskins. We did talk about this already, but he had a nice little game against the Redskins. Definitely came back and tricked everyone. 163 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interception game. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm still just appalled. They keep calling them the Redskins. I don't approve of that. Obviously, I don't appreciate our Native Americans being appropriated with that name, so right. I would respect if you call them the Commanders. Personally,
look, I would totally agree with you, but I have seen where people want the comeback of the Redskins name, and I'm not talking about regular people. I'm talking about people who have Native American heritage. Yes.
Whoa. Are you saying people with Native American heritage aren't regular people?
No. I'm just trying to say more specific. They're not just general people. More specific, Native American people with heritage want to see this name brought back because, yes, the Commanders are Commanders, but the Redskins have heritage and they represent a team for Native Americans. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't think it's cool to appropriate people by the color of their skin. So,
of course, yeah. Of course.
So obviously, I would never want them to be called the Redskins again. Obviously, that's a disgusting act from a disgusting organization. I'm honestly disgusted to even say that. But we'll move on from there. Talking about 9 winning 31-0 against the Commanders. Not too many passing yards. He did throw 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. I'm still not sold on 9. I told you I'd eat my own underwear if 9 ended up being a good quarterback. I said that when he was drafted about 2 years ago now. I stand by it. I don't think he's be a good quarterback. Good games happen every now and then. I'm still on the hate train.
For sure, bro. Hey, say whatever you want about it. I'm kind of offended that you kind of diss my character. It's all good, though. We could definitely get into this next take. Put it to the side. Colts signing Phillip Rivers. Some pretty big news, in my opinion. You did mention it before. 44 years old. I believe that's the same age as Tom Brady, if I'm not mistaken. Jay, if you want to look that up, producer Jay. But yeah, I believe he's the same age as Tom Brady right now. Any thoughts on that? 48. Well, Tom Brady's 48.
Witchcraft.
Oh my goodness.
Witchcraft, truly.
I kind of want to see Tom Brady back in the league.
All right.
But yeah, Phillip Rivers back in the league. See what he can do against the Seahawks this weekend. Personally, I think he's gonna take the L. But who knows? He might throw a little. He might ball out. He might have a little 200+ yard game, little 2 TD, 0 interception type of game. I lied about that 0 interceptions. I think he's probably gonna get 2+. If he does play. But talking about the Colts and signing Phillip Rivers, we can definitely get into Cam Newton being very cheesed about him not getting picked up by the Colts. Thoughts on that?
Honestly, it really PMO. Cam Newton. We have more talks about Cam Newton coming up.
Yep.
He's really been on our mental recently. However, it's not warranted. The fact that he's cheesed is not warranted at all. I know that Phillip Rivers is a little bit older. But I thought so last time Cam Newton played. I vividly remember, I'm like, I don't think he was that good. I'm pretty sure he was pretty beat up or his arm was no longer functional. And no, I'm definitely on the dot about that. So, the last time Cam Newton played a full season, he played 15 games in 2020, all right? Phillip Rivers, last time he played was also in 2020, and he had 16 games, so one more game. So they both played their last full season at the same time, right? So it's not like they've been out of the league for longer than another. Their last full season was in 2020. Same sample size. They have the same amount of games played, pretty much. Phillip Rivers had 4,100 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, and 11 picks. All right?
Yeah.
It's a good stat line. 24 touchdowns, 11 picks. And then Cam Newton played on the Patriots in 2020, 15 games. He had 2,600 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, and 10 picks. That is not a good season by any quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. So the fact that Cam Newton's cheese, no, brother, you earned sitting on that couch at home. You earned being on social media getting memes made about you. You're staying relevant by playing memes, but I'm sorry to say, you don't deserve to be on the football field. Last time you showed out, you threw more interceptions than touchdowns. I don't care that you're Cam Newton. I don't care you're a Heisman winner, national champion, Super Bowl loser. But at the end of the day, Phillip Rivers, the last time he played football, was the same amount of time ago as you, and he balled out way more than you. I think, what is that, 3 times as many touchdowns as you last time you played, Cam Newton? So you can cry all you want. It's all for social media, obviously, but Phillip Rivers balled out way harder than Cam Newton did last time they played. So him playing right now and Cam Newton being on the couch crying about it is warranted, in my opinion.
Look, honestly, I'm going to have to really disagree with you on this take. I feel like Cam Newton, to disrespect Superman like that, like you said, Super Bowl loser, you kind of want to throw a little shade. But okay, Super Bowl, by the way, Super Bowl. And yes, I think supporting cast matter. These teams, like you mentioned, I feel like the Colts probably had a better team than Cam Newton at the time. Who knows? We can check that. Supporting cast definitely matters. And I feel like to disrespect Cam Newton and say he doesn't deserve a spot, okay, maybe he isn't fully capable of holding a spot. But to sign Phillip Rivers, who has been on the couch, did you see the press conference? He looks like a little head coach, like a head coach. He doesn't look like a head coach, a head football player right now, a head quarterback right now for a team. And Cam Newton, disrespectful for Cam Newton.
Cam Newton looks like a football player right now. He looks like a dang warlock. He looks like a warlock. Yes. He doesn't look like a football player. I know we jumped into that.
We did jump into that a couple episodes ago. He is a warlock, but this, many players probably, partake in this. And I'm not saying this is right, but that doesn't discount him from being a good football player, especially a good quarterback.
You know what does? Freaking
supporting cast, bro.
No,
can you pull it up?
8 touchdowns, 10 picks. Come on, that is not a good season. That was 5 years ago.
The Packers didn't have a good team, bro.
He hasn't had a good season since, I'd argue, 2018. 2018. That was 7 years ago. 2018. He hasn't had a good season in a long, long time. Cam Newton, the last time he went out, I think Phillip Rivers is throwing better at age 40 than Cam Newton was at age 32. Cam Newton's arm was a noodle by the end of his career. Go ahead.
Okay, look, honestly, I can agree with that. That was Phillip Rivers' specialty, his arm, his throwing talent, his ability to, precisely hit the target. But Cam Newton's specialty is, more of a little dual threat, a little bigger quarterback. Yes, he has his arm talent, but that's exactly why that's why I replied to that comment that you just had. But honestly, to disrespect Superman like that is kind of crazy to say. I definitely think he deserves a backup quarterback spot, a chance in the league. But yeah, other than that, you don't like we're back? Or I'm back? I'm back. You don't like that?
That was like 6 years ago at this point.
Bro.
He needs to let go of that. Super Bowl 50 was 10 years ago. Cam Newton hasn't been good in over like 7 years. He doesn't deserve anything.
That was a long time ago.
He doesn't deserve no spot. You got to earn that spot. And would I say Phillip Rivers earned that spot? No. But Cam Newton hasn't done anything to earn that either. So he can cry about all he wants. Phillip Rivers is a starting quarterback in the league again. Cam Newton is not.
See, bro, look, it's just funny, like how you just said that. You just said, okay, look, you have to earn your spot in the league. Okay, yes, Phillip Rivers hasn't earned his spot, but Cam Newton hasn't either, so he doesn't deserve it.
Look,
so why exactly is Phillip Rivers getting this and not Cam Newton?
Look, truly, at the end of the day, I'm not going to say Phillip Rivers is out here should be quarterback option 1. He's 44 years old and about 300 pounds, so probably not the best option. Colts are doing something funky right now. However, the last time we watched them play, Phillip Rivers looked a lot better than Cam Newton. Threw for 3 times more touchdowns than Cam Newton did. And Cam Newton was injury riddled at the end of his career. Colts had a really good offensive line, really good run game. Maybe you don't need Superman. Maybe you just need a guy that can complete a pass past 30 yards back behind that O-line. You don't need Superman out there. They have Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones isn't Superman. You just need a guy that can complete a pass. You know what? Phillip Rivers has over 63,000 passing yards in his career. Had a good season last time he showed out. Has an arm. Has a brain. Not saying Cam Newton doesn't have those things, but Phillip Rivers does it as a better has a better record of doing it more recently as well. So I think Phillip Rivers, maybe not the best, obviously not the best option, but
definitely not.
Is a good option. And you know what? And he doesn't get injured. Cam Newton was getting injured toward the end of his career. Let's see, Phillip Rivers had a stretch from 2006 to 2020, 14 years where he didn't miss a single game. That's health. That's being healthy. So maybe he took care of his body enough where he still can play decent ball and his shoulder isn't a noodle like Cam Newton was by the end of his career.
No, for sure. Shout out Phillip Rivers. I definitely kind of disagree on a couple of your takes, but it's all good.
But yeah, we can wrap up there just for camera's sake, and we'll be back.
Ready.
Ready.
All right, let's get back into it for sure. We got Chicago Bears losing last week. We talked about this earlier. The crazy thing about this is that they went from the first seed all the way down to the 7th seed. This is insane. This is an insanely competitive conference in the NFC, and I think it's going to be a fun next couple weeks. We're definitely going to keep up with that. Any thoughts on that?
Nah, I mean, yeah, it's obviously a very competitive NFC, very competitive playoffs in general. And yeah, Chicago's a fun team to watch, but gotta win your games.
No, for sure. And honestly, a little speed run. Let's get into the next topic. We got Anthony Richardson stated playing in the NFL is easier than college. I know you didn't believe me when he said that. And honestly, I didn't believe it when I saw it either. But it has video proof, no AI. Thoughts on that?
Nah, that is true, because I still fail to believe that's true just because of how trash Anthony Richardson has played in the NFL. To be pretty trash in college football, still get drafted high, and then go to the NFL and honestly be called one of the biggest busts of all time and then say it's easier. Producer Jay, can you look up if that is a real statement? Look up Anthony Richardson.
Look, I can give you the exact page I saw it on where you can find the video. I don't know if Jay's going to be able to find it on a simple Google search, but he did say this, and it's honestly, I believe it's a crazy statement as well. Honestly, you're right. He hasn't, played up to expectations. Who was he? Third pick?
4.
Yeah, going to the Colts, I believe. Right?
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying that.
Exactly. You need to find the Instagram page. I can give you it if you want me to, really quick. You want me to give it to you?
Go ahead.
I can even show you right now.
It's
Let me
AI.
just pull it up.
It's
I'll
AI.
slowly show you this, so you just need to believe it.
I did see on YouTube. Just put.
It's AI though. He was like certified. It was AI type of video.
No, I promise he wasn't. And it's all good though. We could definitely.
It's all good, man. But all right, so I'm gonna continue as if it is true. I'm assuming it's true. I'll trust your credibility. But
I'll show you.
if you can pull it up, I'll pull it up as I'm watching it for the pod. Viewers can see it too. But that's a crazy statement to say. Anthony Richardson has not played good ball, I think maybe at all in his life, not even in college football. So for him to even say that as an injured player, as someone who lost a starting job to Daniel Jones, that's just crazy to say. I mean, there's a reason he lost a job with Daniel Jones. He's not a good quarterback. And, I mean, he tapped himself out. People forget. He tapped himself out of a drive as a quarterback.
That's good. I did forget about that.
Quarterbacks do not tap themselves out. Getting too gassed as a 22-year-old man. I get gassed. Me personally, I get gassed. If I walk across campus, if I walk upstairs, I get a little gassed. However, I'm not a 6'4", 250-pound athlete specimen playing in the NFL making millions of dollars. So, you know what? If I tap out and want to ride a scooter instead of walking across campus, that's different. I don't get paid for it. If you get paid millions of dollars, you cannot tap out of the one game you're playing that week.
No, I definitely agree. Crazy statement. Crazy tap out. He pulled a little Antonio Brown. Shout out Antonio Brown. But here's the video. Just a real quick one.
See, playing in the NFL, I feel like it's easier than college. For real. Because, like, in college, you got players that's, like, they good. They know they good, but they're not as confident. You know what I'm saying?
It's a crazy statement, and I really had to prove him wrong. Yeah, it's not good though.
Amateur hour.
Very crazy, very amateur. But we can definitely get into the next topic. We got Chris Collinsworth glazing Mahomes. I know this is a repeated segment in the NFL, past couple seasons.
They drag it. I mean, yeah, everyone
they do drag it.
However, he was glazing Mahomes crazy style, doing tricks on it, one would say. But honestly, me personally, I was asleep for the game. Yeah, I know I'm gonna destroy my credibility, but I was very tired from the pod, got a lot of stuff going on in life. I knocked out. I went sleepy for the game, so I did not watch it in real time. However, yeah, after all I heard, he was glazing Mahomes against the Texans. They lost by 10 points, but it seems like through and through. Yeah, I mean, that's
not for sure, bro.
That's classic Chris Collinsworth.
Little Jay sleep incident. Little Jay sleep incident.
And
But
we'll
no.
pop it up on the screen. There. Just kidding.
I know.
Jay threatened to walk from the show. We put it up there. So maybe one day. Maybe one
Or,
day.
maybe one day for sure. Next segment though for NFL, we're gonna get into my picks. I apologize to Eli as well, producer E. But I think this week's gonna be a banger, maybe even a 5 for 5, I believe. First off, we got Puka Nacua under 99.5 yards against the Lions. I did say high-powered offenses, but I believe 99.5 yards is a very high line. Give me that under. Give me Jamar Chase over 7.5 receptions against the Ravens. Third time's a charm. I missed it the past, I believe, 2 weeks. I picked the same receptions ones, but it's all good. I think he's going to get it against the Ravens. I look this over his yards. Next up, give me Derrick Henry, the same game, over 88.5 rushing yards against the Bengals. I believe they're going to use the run game and really utilize it and expose the Bengals, weak run defense. Next up, we got JSN under 96.5 yards against the Seahawks. Just like Puka against the Seahawks. It's crazy.
There we go.
Against the Colts. Give me under 98.5 yards or 96.5. Same thing with Puka. I believe it's going to be way too high of a line for them to hit. And give me that under. Next up, and we got Drake May over 1.5 passing touchdowns against the Bills, right? Yeah, the Bills. I think it's going to be a very good game to watch. High-powered divisional game. I think this one's going to be a little high-scoring. And, that wraps up my picks.
Your picks are so chopped.
You don't like these picks?
I don't like them any week, and they don't hit.
Like, I'm going to be honest. You have to be a little unorthodox with it. You might think that these are bad picks, but I really think this week is going to be something. Producer Jay, put 10 on the line, and you will be paid out, I promise.
You put 10 on the line. You lost E money. Now you're trying to lose J money. You put the money on the line.
Like, bro, I might have lost E money, and I'm sorry. I apologize already for that. Like, if you want to keep getting on me for that, okay. But look, I think Jay will be profited from this. And if he doesn't want to do it, okay. But I really think he will be profited from this. I think you should put it on too.
Will you put money on this?
Maybe. Definitely wrapping up that segment. A little quick fire segment. We can get into the fan section. Unfortunately, I believe Jewayne, maybe a little apology segment. Well, got it out a tad late. It's all good though.
Yeah, no. So
my fault too.
Obviously, I'm apologize. I got it. I forgot about putting it up. I was on the way here. I was in the traffic on the way here, and I realized I hadn't put it up yet. So I didn't give the fans enough time. However, I do see 37 people did view his story, and only 2 people did. So I'm a little mad at BG Nation right now. I'm a little upsetty at BG Nation right now. I'm a little fired up. I'm riled up for this, and you know what? I really appreciate 2 FTPs, Yanelli, Tristan.
Lovely girlfriend.
Your loving wife.
My lovely girlfriend, yes, wife. Definitely appreciate it. I'm not as angry with Jewayne like Jewayne is at the BG Nation. I did expect a little more. This is my favorite segment, honestly. One of your favorite segments.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can definitely get into these.
And you know what? I even put it on there. Put favorite part of the pod, so I could let people know we love these. We love these. People didn't say anything, so
it's all good. I mean,
I'm a little
definitely hurt. Hit it next time for sure. Maybe a little earlier. We got y'all for sure.
But yeah, so again, starting off with Yanelli, she said Thunder or Spurs, and we kind of answered this one already. Kind of depends what you're talking about. As a fan, obviously, I'm gonna say Spurs.
I had Spurs. You had Thunder, I thought.
Okay, so she's asking about the game. She asked to win the game. Okay, I said Thunder. I just think they're a better team. But under that, she put y'all real Spurs fans? Question mark.
Yeah, honestly, that's definitely a statement. People had the Lakers. I'm not gonna name specific names, but they had the Lakers over the Spurs, which kind of discounted them as Spurs fans. We don't really have to go into that.
Who are you talking about?
No. I had the Spurs, bro. Come on, bro. I had the Spurs, but definitely some Spurs fans are in question of their
loyalties.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Me? I picked the Thunder. I just think they're a better team right now. But obviously, go Spurs, go all the way.
Go Spurs, go, of course.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely. Thank you for that.
And then we got Tristan. A regular of the pod. If you and your co-host had to fight to the death, who's winning? Both of you are chuds. I mean, okay. So obviously, you're gonna have your opinion. I'm gonna have my opinion. Let's ask Jay after this what his opinion is. So, you go ahead.
First off, I need to know what a chud is.
Jay, can you look up what a chud is?
Chud? Producer Jay?
But yeah, you can go ahead. What do you? Who do you think's winning that fight to the death? To the death.
Fight to the death? Bare knuckles?
Bare knuckles.
I believe it's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be very close. I think I'm gonna take this in a slight one, definitely.
I think I'm ravaging you. I'm destroying you, taking you apart limb by limb. You know what? The win. At the end of the day, even if you were to beat me, you would end up dying afterwards. I have these gnarly claws because I don't shower or like take care of myself. So I would definitely gash you and infect you with some type of sickness. Where eventually, even if you were to beat me, you would eventually die.
Look, bro. I'm not just gonna stand there and just let you kill me, bro. I'm gonna respond, and I'm gonna respond accordingly. Shout out if you know that reference. Do you know the reference?
No.
Oh, bro. Shout out my UFC fans. But yeah, I'm not just gonna let you stand there and just kill me, bro. I'm gonna respond and kill you back, bro. Come on.
I know.
I'm gonna kill you.
I know that one now. But look, obviously I'm killing you. But say you were to win, like I said, I'm slashing you up and I'm dirty where my infection will seep into you and you will die slowly over the next like 1 to 2 years.
You're like Wolverine's
Obviously.
brother, bro.
I don't even know who
You know
that
what I'm
is.
talking about?
No.
Wolverine? You know who Wolverine
I know
is,
Wolverine,
bro.
not
You
his
know his
brother.
brother? You never
No.
watched X-Men Origins?
No.
Bro, you never watched it?
Yeah.
He's like Wolverine's brother, bro.
But he's nasty.
Yeah, he looks like a cornball and like he has long nails, but not like super long, like
Medium
whatever.
long.
Yeah, no, he has like just long nails, bro. That scrape like a Wolverine, kind
That's
of like
me.
a Wolverine, but not as.
That's what I would do though. Anyways,
Yeah.
Jay,
We'll plug that in. We'll plug that in.
Chud.
Chud means fool, troll, or jerk.
Fool. That honestly does describe us. Fool, troll, or
I'm
jerk.
not gonna lie. I don't think that's the exact definition of it, but it does describe us in that definition for sure.
That's according to Merriam-Webster.
No, Urban Dictionary. Urban
Yeah,
Dictionary. What do you, Jay? Come on. All right. Well, while you're looking that up, Jay, who would win in a fight to the death, me or Roy? Your opinion. Impartial party.
Jewayne makes a strong case about the
I mean, yeah, sharp.
dirty bacteria. Exactly.
Yee.
It's unpredictable and it can be dangerous.
Me
Look,
or Chud?
Look, first off,
Good Lord.
no, first off, bacteria isn't gonna immediately kill me. You don't have some secret damn poison in your damn blood, bro. Look,
You don't know where I've been.
Look, you're not some super villain, bro. Look, I'm gonna handle you accordingly. Maybe your bacteria will kill me after, but
That's what I said.
I will get you down first.
Look, that's what I said. Obviously, I'm gonna kill you. But say I were not to kill you, at the end of the day, you will die.
We both might die in this scenario, and I
Probably.
could see that happening. Really.
It's a win-win. Like, you're gonna die either by my freaking hands or from sickness over time. And at the end of the day, it's a message to everyone who listens to the podcast. We all die at the end of the day.
That
It's a
is true.
message.
That
Anyway,
is
what
true.
is the Chud Urban Dictionary?
Yeah, Urban Dictionary says Chud is a cannibalistic humanoid.
What the? Okay.
Okay, Urban Dictionary went off the rails with that.
Okay, so somewhere in between a troll and a cannibalistic humanoid. That's about us.
That is about
That's
it.
about
We're
us.
somewhere on that spectrum.
Somewhere on there.
But definitely appreciate the fan section comments, and please drop some more. This time around it was that bad. It was quite bad. We could definitely get into some college ball. We can get right into some college ball actually. We have Ryan Williams washed at 18 years old. Thoughts on that?
That is crazy to say, but you know what? Not that crazy to say. He is indeed washed. He drops a lot of passes, but bring him on. Bring him home. Ryan Williams was supposed to come to Texas, your Texas Longhorns, but he ended up committing to Alabama. Obviously, a freshman standout, raised his stock a lot, was on par with Jeremiah Smith. However, Jeremiah Smith wipes the floor with him. Jeremiah Smith is the next Megatron. Ryan Williams has underperformed, but at the end of the day, I think Ryan Williams enters the transfer portal and he comes home to Texas where he should have been all along, adds him as a weapon for Arch Manning, and he'll be dangerous. So bring him back. But say he's washed at 18, yeah, that's a pretty much correct statement in my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's really. I heard some crazy comments about his hands. Did you see that? I forgot what it was exactly.
They're very bad.
Yeah, very bad, and that he was not a naturally gifted receiver with hands or something like that. Catcher.
Yeah, pass catcher.
And that's honestly crazy to say as a wide receiver.
You know-
Like that's crazy to say. It's a crazy diss to him. I believe he's obviously talented, very talented, and I hope to see. Yeah, Ryan Williams at Texas would be very excited to see. You also mentioned Jeremiah Smith, and that's his name, right?
Yep.
And I'm very excited to see him in the NFL. Next Megatron is exciting to hear about. He's expected to go to the Giants right now. That's crazy. Honestly.
That'd be fun.
That was a quick little comment that.
Malik Neighbors, Jeremiah Smith,
Exactly.
and Jackson Dart.
That'd be fire. Maybe a little Cam Scatterby used to get healthy.
But to say so, when you talk about someone who's naturally not good at catching the ball, that's honestly not something crazy to say about Ryan Williams. I mean, when I think about someone with that speed, Ryan Williams obviously like probably the fastest receiver in college football. That size, not too big, but the hands. He reminds me. There is a place in the league for people like that. There's not a diss to him at all. He reminds me of an Xavier Worthy, and Xavier Worthy reminded me of a Hollywood Brown before him. They're really fast players. They're going to get open. They're going to be deep threats. However, at the end of the day, sometimes you need those clutch balls.
Yeah.
Pause. Sometimes you need to high point them. Sometimes you need to come down with those. Again, at the end of the day, they're speedy guys, very athletic, very fast twitch. But some guys are just better naturally at catching the ball than others. And Ryan Williams, obviously very young at 18, very, very young, can still maybe develop into that. But naturally, some people have hands, some people don't. I don't have hands. I'm very notoriously known for not having hands, and some receivers just have better hands than
Some
others.
people got to be DBs, honestly.
But no, Ryan Williams doesn't need to be a DB. But like I said, hearing about receivers with not a huge frame,
Yeah.
crazy speed, but not those natural hands.
Yeah.
There's still a place for people that talented, like Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, in my opinion.
Right.
So that's not crazy to say.
I totally agree with you, but I feel like some players do pan out to end up being like a Kadarius Toney type of player.
Yeah.
I really, and I think Ryan Williams, he really has to do, work on his talent with his actual hands, and yeah, you got to be able to catch, especially in the NFL. More physical, in my opinion, especially with the quarterbacks. Very hard position to play, but definitely I want to see Ryan Williams succeed. So to
At
say
Texas.
Washington 18 is crazy to say. Yes, at Texas.
Yeah. And then we already talked about this one. We already talked about Notre Dame opting out of the bowl game. I already talked about that in great depth. So that brings us out to our final little segment here. Do you want to take it over, or do you want me to start on this one?
You can definitely start on. I know you definitely had your apology, so you can definitely get into that.
Yeah, no, so I already talked about it. Watched some UFC. It was very good. So before we get to the main event, we watched Alexander Pantoja, flyweight champion, broken arm, elbow dislocation.
Yeah.
Again, I want to say it again. It happened in front of us. Everyone had a reaction. Same thing that happened with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to be dragging it. Same thing that happened with me. You know what? If PMO really pisses me off that when stuff like this happens to athletes, obviously me, I'm a former athlete, I broke my arm on the gridiron as well, out in the trenches. But, I got laughed at. At the end of the day, I'll say it again. I got laughed at for the same exact injury. And my elbow hurts to this day.
Right.
I was literally going through about my day. I got like arthritis now.
Damn.
Something like is huge. It's like a ball. It doesn't fully extend.
Look.
Same thing happened to me.
Quick comment on that, bro. I really, you should really go to physical therapy, bro.
All right. That's rage bait.
I can give you some physical therapy.
For the fan, that's Ayo. For the fans that don't know, I don't believe in physical therapy. Roy is going to be a physical therapist one day. I don't believe in physical therapy. I believe in massages and going to the gym. I think physical therapy is a bunk art. It's all fake, and you can just do the workouts at home. Just ask ChatGPT for the workout personally. But
I personally, really quick, I mean, yes, he has like some interesting comments about physical therapy. I think some people really do need physical therapy. Some people can't just look it up at home and use ChatGPT. Some people really benefit from physical therapy. So to say it isn't really a form of whatever of rehab, it's kind of crazy to say. But yeah, like you said, we could wrap that up. That was just a quick little random comment, bro. Come on now.
Yeah.
But I really do think you could benefit from physical therapy. But yeah.
they'll be looking out for the bro.
Not for I'm just looking out for you, honestly. And
right.
honestly, if I was there with you, bro, whenever you did have this elbow dislocation, I would have been there for you, bro. Who laughed at you? You can say the name, honestly.
Everyone laughed at me. The whole team.
One specific name.
Gumbo, yes. Gumbo laughed at me. He was supposed to be there. My brother, we went
Eli
there.
there?
Eli was not there. Eli was suffering from his own broken collarbone at the time, I think.
Yeah.
He was already retired, but
You know, you're tired.
he was already retired, but
Rip on Eli.
but I got put on the shelf from that. Obviously, devastating injury, but I'm just saying. I mean, poor him, but poor
Nah,
me
for sure.
too. At the end of the day, I mean,
It's unfortunate.
No one was there for me. I wish Roy was there for me.
I would have been there
at the
for
end
you,
of the day.
bro. But it's unfortunate to hear about. This Alexander.
Pantoja. Anyways, Piotr Jan, Rob, that is a dang. That was the main event. You know what, Steven? I told Steven. I said, Steven, Wabi Sabi. I told Wabi Sabi,
Damn.
who is the biggest matchup coming up? He said, yo, Piotr Jan and Marauder fight. I said, Who? Honestly, I didn't care. You know, I'd heard Petr Yan. I'd heard the names before. I never watched them fight.
Missing out, bro.
That fight was a masterpiece. Obviously, I wouldn't say I'm a fight fan of the UFC, but I'm a combat sport fan. I like boxing, so I can see when there's skill. Obviously, Petr Yan had every counter from Merab, so it might be easy to dismiss Merab as a bad fighter. No, I could tell Merab had the skill. I know Merab beat Yan the first fight, but Yan had a counter for everything perfectly, countered every single takedown. Takedown defense was immaculate. His striking, is so accurate, like second to none on the stand-up game. Yeah. He was outclassing him, and it seems like Merab is more of a takedown type of guy. Exactly. He had a perfect counter for that as well, so he was not able to be taken down. And even when they were on the ground, Yan would get had his own moments in the ground as well. But he pieced him up from the standing game. Yep. It was honestly fun. It was a fun watch.
No, for sure, definitely an enjoyable watch for really combat sports enthusiasts, purists just like you. And honestly, I'll say me, I really enjoy UFC. You were sleeping on it. You're missing out. They had a previous match, I believe. I don't exactly know the date, but Merab did win. I think it was like 50-45. And Yan came back prepared. Petr Yan came back prepared, and he really showed out. You know, his takedown defense was very, very great, and I think that was really a fun match to watch. Honestly, one of the better ones to watch.
At the end of the day,
caught a good one, bro.
I went into the fight really wanting to hate on it. Like I said, boxing was going on at the same time. I thought Pitbull and Lamonte Roach was going to be an absolute firework fest. So I really wanted to shift the narrative with my boys. Be like, come on, man. UFC is very boring while boxing is so exciting. Over just stimming out on with the Google Doc. But I wanted to really shift that narrative. However, got turned around on me. I watched the masterclass, the whole narrative whenever we were watching it. If you like fight, how do you not like watching this? There was like a lot of wholesome moments, a lot of conversations. There was a fighter that retired that same night. It was honestly a really great watch overall, and personally, I could not, from the depths of my heart, watch that and not enjoy it. So,
not for sure.
My hat's off to UFC. I'll definitely probably be tuning into some more UFC. Maybe, you know what? I viewed it like WWE. I honestly like the storylines. Maybe I'm a bit of a woman, but I honestly like the storylines a lot whenever I'm watching. So I might want to get into the storylines when it comes to the UFC as well. Yeah, Henry Cejudo.
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about this. Was the guy who was retiring, right?
Yeah, and Peyton Talbot. Frank Ocean's boyfriend.
Frank Ocean's boyfriend. Yeah. That Frank Ocean. You like Frank Ocean? My guy, pretty like a guy.
What else? A tornado.
Yeah.
My room.
Those are pretty good, honestly.
Frank Ocean. I don't want to sleep on Frank Ocean. His boyfriend, his boyfriend's pretty good. Looked good out there. Body very toned. I think he's a light skin, but no, he really showed out. Honestly, he had some great personality as well. So
look, bro. Honestly, I hate to admit it. Look, I've been having conversations with my friend Mikey the past couple of days, and he's really pushing a certain narrative. We're not even going to get anywhere near this year. After this, yes. But he's been pushing a crazy narrative recently, and you're really just throwing me into the bus right now. Okay, kind of laugh. But
we'll move on from that. I was talking to UFC. I had no idea what that is about. I've been locked in, purely locked in. I'm about to go lock in after this, so we're about to wrap it up a bit. Got to go back, hit the books so I can fail another exam, and go back to school because I'm not going to graduate. Smiling through the pain though.
You can graduate there.
But that's pretty much it. UFC was a good one. Tune in to WWE this weekend. John Cena's final fight against Gunnar. John Cena's final fight. We didn't even have time to talk about it, but John Cena's final fight against Gunnar. It'll be a good one. So tune in for that. I'll probably have it playing in the background while I'm studying. But yeah, overall, college football wrapping up, going into the playoffs, bowl games. January, late December is always a fun time.
Yeah.
UFC will be more tapped in. NFL kicking up. But yeah, it's pretty much all we have. Word of the week is the final segment.
Word of the week. You want to say it?
I don't want to say the whole thing, just that.
Go for it, bro.
All right. Word of the week. Because it's not words of the week, it's word of the week.
You're right.
Word of the week is cookies. We didn't even talk about that. Man, we went over so much.
Drop it quick.
Yeah, no, there's no time. We're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
I love cookies. I love cookies. We give that respect. We give that leeway to young players.
Not for real.
Come on. But
you're a rookie?
We give that cookies.
All right, for sure. Wrap it up.
But what a Gunnar sesh. Very freaky pod. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Word of the week. Let us know. Cookies.
Drop in the comments.
Yeah,
Drop in
do
the
you have
comments.
anything else besides that?
Nope. Drop a word of the week in the comments, and that's about it.
All right. Let us know. This is like skin. Skin out some
Skin check. Shout out producer Jay. Appreciate it. Shout out fan section comments. Like, subscribe, share. Keep doing y'all's things.
BG Nation.
Have a wonderful holiday, BG Nation.
BG Nation.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
Go
That's it.
wrap.
That's right.